Hello, Lancaster Symphony friends. My name is Robin Plant. I've been playing principal bassoon with the Lancaster Symphony Orchestra since 2010. I started subbing in the orchestra a few years before that. I think the first time I played was the fall of 2006. And I love it. I love the Lancaster Symphony. I love the musicians. I love the hall. I live in Lancaster now, partly because of playing in the orchestra. I grew up in Palmyra, so it's not too far away from where I spent half my life. But living in Lancaster and loving the orchestra and really, really missing it. If you've watched some of the other musicians at home videos already, you know that those guys are just phenomenal musicians, fantastically fun people, and I really miss playing with them. And to be honest, putting my face and voice on this video for you is way outside my comfort zone. Sitting on stage, near the back of the stage, sort of surrounded by musicians that I love and admire and trust, I'm comfortable there. When I have to be at the front of a stage or playing a solo or talking to people, it petrifies me. So my plan here was, first of all, I was thinking, what can I do that's interesting to come up to the level of those other videos, and frankly, I'm not going to. I'm not that interesting. So instead of that, I thought I would invite you to chat with me here at my reed making table for a little bit. As a double reed player, almost all double reed players, oboists and bassoonists, we spend a lot of time making reeds. Probably half of our dedicated practice time is in fact reed making and reed adjusting, and let's see, there's a lot of swearing at reeds that probably happens. I mean, not all the time, but sometimes. Anyway, so this is where we spend a lot of time, especially during the real orchestra season where we actually get to perform. We spend a lot of time making reeds. So let's see, I'm just gonna do some stuff and then also tell you a little bit about my personal bassoon journey. I guess I didn't start playing bassoon when I was little because, well, it's kind of awkward to do for a really small person. But I did start. My parents were both musicians. My dad still plays. He's a church organist and choir accompanist and composer, and just fantastically brilliant, creative man is my father. So if there's any bit of talent in me, it comes, what do they call it? I come by it honestly from my parents. My parents had my older sisters and I were required to take piano lessons for 1 year when we were in elementary school. And after the 1 year, we could choose if we wanted to continue and or if we wanted to play another instrument. And all of us chose to continue playing piano, taking piano lessons. And my oldest sister played the French horn for many years. My middle sister really got fantastic at piano. And in third grade, I started playing clarinet. Now, apparently, my parents did not want me to play clarinet because they thought it's kind of, everyone plays the clarinet, right? But for some reason, I was determined. So I started with that, and I loved it. I was pretty good at it. I played all through high school, went to all of those super fun PMEA, district, regional, all-state festivals, and all-Eastern 1 year. And let's see. Well, not all the time. I mean, I didn't do all of that on clarinet. I played clarinet all through high school, but I also started playing bassoon when I was in about 7th grade. When I was playing in 6th grade band, I was playing clarinet, and there were a lot of clarinet players. and my band director there mentioned that the school district had, I think, 4 bassoons that were not being played, and they just needed some repair, and then I could maybe start lessons. And I don't remember knowing anything about the bassoon before that, except maybe I'd heard it play in the grandfather character in Peter and the Wolf, but I didn't really know anything about it, except when he said that, it immediately clicked. Like, I was determined to get a bassoon and start playing. So I remember all that year just bugging him, Mr. Otto, is there a bassoon ready for me yet? Can I start playing? I don't know if that's entirely true, but that's the way I remember it. And I started playing. My first main teacher was Gail Ober, who lived in Mannheim, and she was, in fact, the previous principal bassoon of the Lancaster Symphony. Sadly passed away about 2.5 years ago. But she was great with me, really, really patient. I very rarely actually practiced when I was little, but I kind of became a good sight reader, I think mainly because of my first piano teacher, who really drilled her students on basic music theory and reading rhythms accurately right from the very beginning. So I was a decent sight reader, and why am I saying that? I don't know, just because Gail was really, really patient with me and just really gentle and kind, and she never said anything bad. Like, she was always completely supportive, and she was exactly what I needed when I was young, because I still am, kind of a quiet, shy introvert, and always really worried about what other people are thinking. But yeah, so she was great, and then I continued to play bassoon. When I went to college, I went to Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, and the school there now is known as the Jacobs School of Music, but at the time it was Indiana University School of Music, and it was fantastic. It's a huge school, huge music program, but my teacher there was Professor Kim Walker, and very different from Gail, very different. Very kind, very encouraging, but also would just give me a kick in the butt when I needed it, basically. Yeah, I love her so much. I think about her every day, honestly, when I'm playing. I always think, how would Kim explain this to me? Or she was just very inspiring, always inspiring. And not only was IU good for me because of Kim, but also there was a lot of playing. There was a lot of ensemble playing, but the other bassoonists in her studio were phenomenal. I mean, they are still some of my favorite musicians in the world. So I feel really, really lucky that I got to learn not just from Kim Walker, but from her students, Ben Coelho, Mark Gaydon, Kate Goldstone, Ezekiel Feingersh, Andrew Barnes. They were just all amazing. And the studio was good because it was a lot of international students. And it's so fun to hear how people who speak different languages play differently. You can hear different sounds, different inflections. And that was so much fun for me to listen to them and learn from all of them. Super fun. And what else? I took a bunch of auditions right after college and didn't have a lot of success. And then I moved back to this area eventually and started subbing here, like I said, and eventually found that Lancaster Symphony was my home. And I really have a huge amount of admiration and affection for the other musicians in this orchestra. I really miss them. I miss playing with them. Did I already say that? It's been a weird few months for everyone, of course. And yeah, I really hope that we'll get back to playing together at some point, in some way, actually in person. There are some other video projects happening, I guess, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm really amazingly grateful for Guy McIntosh for stepping up into a leadership position, and really looking forward to what changes the future holds for the orchestra.